Crafters Tarot is out. If you're interested, this is based on US games, and that is quite an interesting deck for sure if you're into sort of that herbalism, herbing kind of thing. And delayed into November, originally was October. We have the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle card. I have this on pre-order. This is absolutely stunning. I can't wait to get this. Look at the artwork on this. That is just gorgeous. And speaking of gorgeous, we have the White Light Oracle. I guess my only issue with this particular deck is the keywords. I'm not really sure if I can really get into those keywords, but man, the art is absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to get this. But I'm really on the fence about it just because of the keywords. However, I probably will end up getting it just because the art is so stunning. This is coming in November. And the Tarot, the Golden Wheel shipped, and this is really oversaturated images online. However, the people that have previewed it, reviewed it on YouTube, it looks a lot better in real life apparently. So you'll see that coming up in the YouTube section, but man, it's on Amazon for I think like $19 or something. I'm really tempted to get this. And Pathworking the Tarot is now out. This looks really cool, and I'm tempted to pick this up as well. This sort of looks like my kind of book. So Pathworking the Tarot is now out if you're interested in this book. And the Sufi Wisdom Oracle is now out as well. I do like the images. I think they're fairly interesting. Maybe not my style 100%, but if you do like these images, this is now available. And November is chock full of good tarot. Coming soon, Amazon listed as November 12th, is the In-Between Tarot Kit. You've seen sort of similar decks of like this with the before and after tarot, but these images are much better in my opinion than the before and after tarot. So I have this pre-ordered. It's a full kit with a nice book, and we'll review it when it arrives, supposedly November 12th. Also coming is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. Now this does have bags as well. If you go to Llewellyn, you can get sort of a thin silk bag. Man, I'm not a fan of the thin silk bags, but these are really pretty images. And I originally thought that it would just be really washed out, but the person that previewed it, it looked pretty good. It does have borders though. This is coming supposedly November 9th. And the Flower Magic Oracle cards is also listed as November 9th. Yeah, if you like flowers, this is going to be a nice Oracle deck for you. And the Barbary Fantasy Cats Oracle is coming. It's coming supposedly November 12th. I have it on pre-order. So when I get it in, look at that image. That looks so cool. When I get it in, we will definitely be taking a serious look at this. I absolutely adore cats. And speaking of Amazon, the Modern Witch Tarot is coming out early November. This looks really cool. It's sort of Rider-Waite with a bit of a change in there. That's coming in November, early November. And you can pick it up for $22.46 right now. And definitely pre-order the Light Seers Tarot. This is stunning. It was on a Kickstarter, and a lot of people have it. You can go on YouTube, previous news programs, and look up the YouTube for the Light Seers Tarot. Now, this is the mass market version, which is going to be a little smaller, but it's coming out early December, and I am too excited for this. I already pre-ordered it. And speaking of December, we have the Mystical Dream Tarot Life Guidance from the Depths. This is kind of an interesting deck with some very interesting imagery as well. I sort of like the imagery. I like that it's borderless. It has that sort of that cartoony look without being a bit too much. So this is coming out again December 1st. So plug in a pre-order for that one. And the Charles Dickens Tarot, which is unusual. We have a bunch of author type tarot. I'm not sure if I want this one or not because take a look at the images. So We have the 2 of water, the 3 of water. Yeah, I mean, pretty much what you would expect from a Charles Dickens. It is a horizontal deck. If you're interested in that, it's coming out in mid-November. And I know everyone has waited for the Tarot of the Little Prince. I hyped that for October, and then they delayed it on me. This looks so cute. I can't wait for that. That's supposedly coming November 8th or 12th. And the Tarot Black and Gold Edition, if you're into this, I'm not. If you're into this, this is coming out in November 8th, supposedly. So if you're interested in just pure black and gold tarot, this is going to be for you. And now we'll switch to Indiegogo. You can go to Indiegogo to see this. Look at this deck right here. Oh my God. That is so cute. That is so cute. The Grimalkin Tarot. Oh, the cuteness level. It's cuteness overload. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm definitely backing this one. Doesn't ship until March 2020 though. And speaking of cute, the Winter Wait Tarot. Only 5 days left. Look how cute this is. That is so cool. That is so cool. I mean, they definitely got it. They definitely got an interesting take on the Rider-Waite. You know what I'm saying? Look at how cute that is. You can pick this up on Indiegogo. It looks like this is going to ship in December. So be sure to get your pre-order if you like this. That is so cool looking. Switching to Kickstarter, we have the Telerik Tarot. 3 days to go. Pick this up. Look how colorful that is. Look how colorful this is. That is really nice. They did really nice job on this. I'm not going to pledge. No, I'm not going to pledge $500. Whoa. No thanks. Here we go. That is a great looking deck. And the Divine Canine. 21 days to go on this. Look how cute this thing is. Speaking of interesting and cute, 4 days to go, the Medieval Europe Tarot. Look at this thing. That is kind of cool. I mean, I gotta admit, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Ships in February 2020, though. But yeah, that's nice. And a couple of days to go for the Forager's Daughter Tarot. If you're interested in this, that is pretty interesting looking deck right there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you might remember the Moon Crystal Tarot. It was originally on Kickstarter, then went to Etsy, and then the Etsy store closed down, and now it's back on Kickstarter. This is a super attractive deck. This is a super attractive deck coming in January. If you're interested in this, we got plenty of days to go. And if you pre-ordered the This Might Hurt Tarot, you missed the Kickstarter like me, but you still want the deck because you saw people with this deck on YouTube. The This Might Hurt Tarot has now officially shipped, according to a notice that I got. So if you were a late backer or a pre-order, you should now be getting it moderately soon. And if you're one of the beautiful souls that's interested in my Oracle deck, I will be going to Kickstarter in January. And I currently have 53 cards. It's going to be a very large deck for sure. Still working on more artwork for it. And that's coming soon for Kickstarter in January. Here's one of the cards, obviously, Hairy Situation. And Boho Tarot brings us decks by the Black and the Moon. If you're interested in these, you can get them on blackandthemoon.myshopify.com. There we go. And they run you about $55 to $59, depending upon which one you want. I like these because they have unusual imagery, and they don't have a border, but they just sort of have a space around the image. So very unique deck if you're into these types of deck, and something I'm definitely looking to. And Simon at the Hermit's Cave gives us the Lightseers Tarot. Now this was on a Kickstarter. If you missed it on Kickstarter, it is coming out on Amazon December 5th. Obviously the Amazon version will be more mass market type cards, but these are simply gorgeous. And this is definitely something I already pre-ordered, and I'm greatly looking forward to getting this one. This is one of the top decks of this year, in my opinion, as far as just for looks and style and everything. Nice and borderless cards. Be sure to check these out. And Tarot Oculus brings us the Brotherhood of Light and Egyptian Tarot and the Eternal Tarot. Now, the Brotherhood of Light and Egyptian Tarot is available off Amazon if you're interested for $18. So it's an interesting deck, sort of a minimalistic type feel to it, and yet it sort of has that nice Egyptian style that I like in a lot of these different tarots. So check that out if you're interested in this type of tarot. And Tarot Oculus brings us the Tarot Da Vinci Enigma Tarot. This is from Caitlin Matthews. If you're interested in this tarot, you can pick it up off Amazon. It costs you about $17.63 as of now. Now, this was released as a box set on October of 2005. So it is an older deck, and sort of the art style is a bit sort of more on the classical side as well. But if you're interested in both of those, this is something that you want to look at. And Dark Star Tarot brings us the Pixiekins inspirational cards. This is a pretty interesting deck. This is from US Games, and US Games will sell it to you for about $23. Also, it's obviously available on other sites as well. The cards are 3.5 by 5, so they're pretty good size. Now, this is from Paulina Cassidy, and Paulina Cassidy is an excellent producer of oracle cards. I like, again, the whimsical style, sort of this relaxed style of oracle as well, and this is something I'm definitely going to be picking up. Now, the Art History Tarot is a very interesting tarot indeed, and that is from Tarot Your Truth. Go check it out from Tarot Your Truth. Now, the Art History Tarot for Past Lives is on Amazon for about $11. So skip to some of the cards. It comes with obviously the book, and it's one of those historical art decks, you know what I'm saying, to where, let's skip to the cards, one of those historical art decks to where you have really, really sort of cool images, but maybe not so much a relationship to a tarot deck, you know what I'm saying? So the Fool maybe doesn't look exactly like the Fool, the Magician maybe doesn't look exactly like the Magician, etc. If you can handle that, then this is a cool looking art style, and a cool looking art style as well as borderless, and it's glossy, and I mean, overall it looks pretty good for the price. So Kitten Waits and Tarot also gives us the Le Vampire's Oracle. Now, the Le Vampire's Oracle is off of Amazon. You can get it for about $23. Now, this is from Lucy Cavendish. You already know Lucy Cavendish's style. This is back from 2014, by the way. So, one of the older Lucy Cavendish decks. Now, she did produce a lot of decks, sort of like the big-headed decks. And for me, you know, once I got like one or two of these, I was pretty set on the big head decks. But I mean, that's just my personal preference there. But it's definitely something where I wanted one or two of those, and I kept them, and I traded off a couple of the other ones. But a very interesting deck, and Lucy Cavendish produces a beautiful oracle. And Toadstool Tarot gives us the illustrated And Toadstool Tarot gives us a comparison between the Rider-Waite-Smith and the other Rider-Waite-Smith. This is a Siren Imports. Siren Imports is sort of a new one on Amazon. Definitely check that out if you're interested. And Becoming Temperance gives us the illustrated Herbiary box set comparison. Now, the Herbiary box set comparison, you can pick this up off of Workman.com. Workman.com. This is comes with a book as well. This is from Maya Toll, and it is $29. Obviously available on Amazon for a couple of bucks less, but definitely something to look at if you're into this style. I think that this is one of those sort of a niche type of niche type of sort of the Oracle, I guess, the collectible box set, this stuff, and definitely something cool. The cards are obviously well produced for the collectible box set as well, and definitely a good value for what you're getting as far as the money. And Boho Tarot gives us her part 3 of her Creating the Tattered Timeless deck. So this is one of those things, if you get a tarot and you want to really customize it and you don't mind a bit of arts and crafts, obviously, I think this is an interesting process to walk through on customizing your own tarot decks. And that's sort of important because if you get a deck and maybe you don't like the borders, or maybe you think the imagery could use some help, sort of an interesting thing. Again, if you don't mind, sort of a scrapbooking almost arts and craftsy type venture, I think this is an interesting video that shows us how to go through that process. And the Truth in Story brings us a Wild Unknown Archetypes. Now this was released on October 15th of this year. It runs you about $32, and you get a deck and a guidebook, and this is one of those circular tarots. I haven't seen a lot of people use circular tarots, but if this is sort of your style and this is something that you're interested in, it definitely is a great walkthrough of the deck, and be sure to check out the Truth in Stories video. And Dark Star Tarot gives us the Iris Oracle. If you're interested in this, you need to go to Etsy, and it is $48, and you get 78 Oracle cards. I think that's amazing. It's a good deal. You want to check out Mary Evans in Spirit Speak Tarot on Etsy to pick these up. Definitely something that's interesting. Probably not my style, but one of those whimsical, unusual type oracles, and you do get a lot of cards for your money if you're interested in the $48 78 card oracle deck. And Supportive Tarot with Lisa gives us a Zombie Tarot and Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle. Very cool looking decks there. I like it because it looks similar to some of the other sort of a spooky real life images mixed with art decks, and you'll see a lot of these that are available, but it's interesting because it has a bunch of different types of symbolism and a lot of words and a lot of things that sort of kick off your intuition. And Dark Star Tarot gives us the Crooked Way Gothic Tarot Flip Through. Now this is available on tarotbyducksoup.com. It's $63 for the regular size and $83 for the jumbo. And the good news is you get 8 different backs to choose from. I love it when you can choose your own back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they do it. I guess they just print it on demand at one of the print on demand things, pod things. Anyway, it's an interesting deck. Be sure to check out the Tarot by Duck Soup if you're interested in this type of tarot. I think it has a nice border that's not too much, you know what I'm saying? So I like the deck. I like the imagery and etc. And Supportive Tarot with Lisa brings us the field guide to Garden Dragons. Now, this is something that I ordered the minute I saw the video. It's not one of those video game, epic dragon type decks that we see with some other authors. This is a nice sort of relaxed, whimsical deck, and I really like it. It's 3.5 by 5, which is the size of my Oracle coming out. And it's really interesting. It comes with the book, obviously, but the imagery is so interesting. This is definitely an Oracle that I want to pick up. Definitely on my ordered and waiting for it to get here. And the Truth in Story brings us the Ancestral Oracle of the Celts. This was released in August of this year, runs you about $18. This is from Caitlin Matthews. Caitlin Matthews from a gazillion other decks. So it's sort of a minimalistic style, a bit digital, big borders. Not something that I would personally buy, but it does look fairly sort of this nice, relaxed, simplistic type oracle. Definitely, if you're interested in this, check it out on Amazon. Very competitive price, and if you like this imagery. And the Literary Witches book, Boho Tarot gives us sort of a flip through. We'll see this again in here, but the Literary Witches celebration of magical women writers. And we'll see a couple of decks coming out for authors. I don't know what it is, but we have a couple more decks coming with authors if you're interested in that type of style. Now this is available as, let's see, hardcover book is $8.49. I don't see the tarot. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it looks like it's $18. So it's $18 on Amazon. I'm going to get the whole thing released in August of this year. And Simon brings us Tarot of the Golden Wheel. This looked not so interesting on Amazon, but now that I've seen it flipped through, definitely something on my sort of my wish list or something on my to buy list. Again, the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. If you go to Amazon and you look at the cards look really oversaturated and like, I guess you'd call it just a bit too much. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like too much saturation on the site. This only runs you $17 and it was released in June of this year. And again, it's one of those things to where the images on the site for me looked worse than what I'm seeing on this video. This looks really good on the video. It's borderless. It has nice colors, sort of toned down colors. I like all of the symbolism. You can use this for card interactions. I mean, it's definitely something that I'm picking up at this point. Now, Simon also brings us the Way Home Tarot. If you're interested in the Way Home Tarot, by the way, you can pick it up from shopeverydaymagic.com, and it's the Way Home Tarot by Everyday Magic, obviously, for $44. So it has a lot of interesting images on there. And they also sell ritual candles, crystal palm stones, postcards from liminal space, etc. But again, this will run you $44. So I like the imagery on this. It has a lot of unique. You go to the site and look at the cards. It has a lot of unique cards. Some are maybe not so colorful. Some are super colorful with like tomatoes and fruit and bright reds. And then some are really toned down, almost black and white. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to check this out to see the variety of cards in here. It's an unusual deck. And he also brings us, again, we're back to the Literary Witches, Oracle, and Book. If you're interested in that, here is more view. And again, I like the hardbound book. I love hardbound books with decks. I know it's just extremely expensive to print, but sure looks good. And we also get the Oswald Worth Tarot. If you're interested in this, you can pick it up. This is by US Games. Cost you about $26. Obviously, the author is Oswald Worth, thus the Oswald Worth Tarot. So cards are 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And again, this will run you about $26. This is a Marseille style deck, by the way. And Tarot Oculus brings us the Kabbalistic Visions Marini Scapini Tarot. Back in 2014, it was published by Marco Marini and Luigi Scapini. And it currently sells for about $45, lists as hardcover. It is, it's one of those very bright and sort of grunge almost decks. So if you're interested in this, back from 2014, be sure to pick this up. Thank you, Tarot Oculus, for showing us this cool deck. And Tarot Oculus also brings the Marguerite Peterson Tarot. If you're interested in this, it's on Amazon. Now, this was back from 2004, July 2004, obviously from Marguerite Peterson. So it'll run you $35, and it's an interesting tarot. It's one of those really sort of out there images and sort of a lot of renamed cards and whatnot. But if you're into that style, it only runs you $35, and it has some cool looking images. I mean, I really like the sort of the saturation across the cards, and I like the color combinations as well. And Moonlight Guidance brings us a Tarot of the New Vision mini cards. I Googled this and I cannot find it. I'm not really sure it's still available. It looks like this was back from 2004, and it may be available for about $40, but this says book supplement. So I don't really see the cards available. Again, it's 2004. It's been a while, but if you're interested in this, definitely pick it up. It says discover the hidden secrets of the Rider-Waite deck. This allows us to peek behind the well-known images and see what was until now just out of sight. So it's sort of the before tarot, the after tarot. You know that theme? You know